So you got a new figure, you have this really cool pose and idea in mind. You set it up, getting ready to take the picture, but you forgot about the background. So you stop and you never take the picture. Hey, this is a video I have been wanting to do because one of the more popular questions I get is, where did you get that background? And on the same note, I see a ton of comments about not having a diorama or background to use for their photos. This definitely can be frustrating and discouraging, and even with having options, I can still feel this way too. But I do have some ideas and tricks that hopefully you can use and have more fun setting up your photos. So here are my 5 background ideas that you can use for your photos. Number 1, buy a diorama. Is there a difference between a background and a diorama? Yes, but for the sake of this video, I'm combining them just to make them the same. It's the setting that's around your figure. One company that makes some pretty unique dioramas is Extreme Sets. I've purchased 2 different dioramas from them. This spaceship looking one, and then also this brick building. The catch, if you can't already tell, is that they are cardboard. But that's not bad because they do look real. And with the right lighting and angles, they definitely don't look like cardboard pieces. I really like this one because it's modular. There's a lot more pieces that you can set up and position however you want. Another diorama that I've bought is called the Ubiquitous Set by Nova. So this is just the shape that I made it, but all these pieces come apart and you can make whatever design you want, for the most part. I really love the texture and the sculpting details of each piece. It is kind of a pain to set up, but it is worth it for how it looks. It has different panels for walls and for the floor. Number 2, make your own diorama. I have a couple videos on here where I broke down step by step how I made some dioramas, and I do plan on making a new one soon. It's actually way easier and probably cheaper than you think. All these pieces are just foam that I cut up and painted. The main foam that I use is this pink or blue insulation foam that you can find at your local hardware store, or you can get some on Amazon as well. I think it used to be a little cheaper, so the prices can vary with this foam, but it's probably the best foam to work with. Obviously, you can get extremely detailed and crazy with how you want to make your building or diorama, but if you're making some broken building pieces or desert planet walls for a few pics, it doesn't take long. And it's definitely addicting to how fun it can be, like putting these together yourself. And unless you're trying to do a perfect brick wall building, most of these are going to be naturally beat up anyway. So just like weathering a trooper, if you make a mistake, just call it battle damage. Number 3, throw stuff together. So whether you have some diorama pieces or not, using real life objects as props or buildings in your photos can definitely work too. Obviously not everything will work, so it does take some creative thought and probably some good lighting and angles to make it look awesome. I've used sticks before to make a forest. Cinder blocks can make some cool walls. I love using big rocks. Even random packaging material like this, that could look like something from Star Wars, right? One really cool example from Clone Wars 501st over on Instagram. So this is the final shot, and then taking a look at the BTS. When looking at this final image, even if that looks like a fan, it doesn't look like a desktop, tabletop little fan for us. It looks like a giant warehouse industrial fan. I had asked him about this and he said he had some sunset light coming through the fan, and then also all this was done on his kitchen counter. Really awesome and very creative. With throwing stuff together like this, putting a black poster board, I like doing this for a lot of my shots, is a good way to hide what else. So you don't have to cover the whole screen. You just have a black poster board kind of behind everything. And black usually you can get away with black. It's just kind of darkness. Number 4, use nothing. I don't literally mean nothing, but more so just use your new figure, set them up in that awesome pose, and take the picture. Like maybe it is on your desk and your whole office comes out. Like I've seen some really cool pictures like this. I have tried this before for a few shots, and it's definitely something I want to add to my list of things going forward too. Especially if your subject is well lit, there can be some pretty cool looking images. Another popular one is just holding it up. Like just hold up your figure and take a picture, you know, in that cool pose. Like a lot of people that do like just posing, those are awesome. Like whether it's a video of different poses, boom, let me just hold it. Let me hold the pose, take the picture, post it. It's cool. And these are also ways that you can practice your lighting still and practice the posing too, which are two very important things for toy photography. And also when you're doing stuff like this, maybe it can inspire you to want you to take more pictures because you're not worrying about the background and the setup. It's just about, you know, the foundation, which is your figure and the photo. So kind of going along the same lines is like just using a poster board or like a solid surface, whether it's your wall or like a legit backdrop. I have this from V Flat World, which is pretty cool. Like they make stuff for product photography, but it could just be a clean looking backdrop, you know, for some toy photos. I've definitely seen some epic photos where it's just, you know, two figures interacting, completely solid backdrop, whether it's a bright color or not, and that's it. And it looks awesome and it gets their point across. It's showing off their figure, it's showing off their lighting, it's toy photography. Just take the picture. Number 5, go outside. This last tip is just that, just going outside and take your picture. So it could be at your home, in your front or backyard. I also mean like just going to like a park nearby or like cool looking buildings or construction, you know, be careful with that, but just using something outside. I've gone to a couple parks that are close by to my house before to get a few photos, and there is opportunity for some unique backgrounds and angles for sure. And if you've been following for a while, you know my favorite spot is in my front yard. I even have some stuff that I store there to use for different shots when I want. And luckily my wife does approve of this corner for me. Plus you don't have to worry about bringing lights because you have that awesome sun, most of the time at least. Using a TV or monitor. This is also something that I've wanted to explore more in. I've only tried it a couple times with a few pictures, but using a digital screen like a monitor or a TV can really help bring your figure to life and make it look more real. Like whether it's some epic forest or mountain or some detailed inside spaceship shot, you're able to stretch or shrink that to your figure on your background and fitting it to the scale. My main tip for this is when you're lighting your figure, make sure the light matches the colors and lighting of the background or the digital image that you're using. Because if it's a different color and different lighting angles, it can definitely look off and just not that good. Also, combining this digital background with some of the other ideas I mentioned can really take it to the next level because you're making that digital image more than just like a backdrop. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and tag me in your work if any of this helps and creates and inspires.